Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all my dear students, my friends, and my viewers there in YouTube. Myself Shine Banerjee, and I'm back with my economics classes. Today, our topic of discussion is for class 9. I guess my viewers can see the board, right? Our topic of discussion is for class 9 students, those who are there in CBSE board. It is for them. I guess class 9 students has newly got the introduction of their book. So the students also have seen in class 9 in SST they got four parts in SST. Basically SST previously for them in class 8 was divided into three parts. They were having civics, that is the political science, they were having geography as well as they were having history. But from the class 9 onwards we got a very new book. The very new book that we got from this particular year onwards is economics. Here in this particular class 9, a new book economics has been introduced to you. I'm telling you, Swami, it's very easy subject, it's very easy to understand and it's very compatible for all of you. To learn or to lead a social life, to understand day-to-day life, this particular subject is very helpful. I guess class 9 and 10 students have already checked out my previous videos in which I made an introductory topic, I made an introductory video on what economics is, what we read in economics and all. Today, we are going to start a very new chapter. That is the first chapter of our economics book. That is the story of village Palampur. Basically, in economics, there are two types of activities. One is economic activities and other is non-economic activities. Economic activities are those activities that help us to yield money or that help us to earn money. While on the other hand, non-economic activities are those activities in economics which do not help us to yield money. Basically, our topic of discussion in the first chapter will be with the economic activities with a hypothetical example or with a hypothetical village or an arbitrary village in our story, that is the village Palampur. Here, Palampur is that hypothetical village which I don't know whether it's having an existence or not, but it's a hypothetical arbitrary village that have been undertaken to help the learners to understand what economic activities do our entire economy faces. What are the economic activities that the village economy or basically the village economy of our country, what economic activities do take place is a main concern of this first chapter. So, I guess you can see here, I made the entire chapter 1's introduction, or chapter 1's first Palampur's basic, entire what we find in Palampur, what not we need to read in Palampur. I have synchronized the entire thing into one particular board. I'm very sorry to all of you, the guys, I don't have a big board, I somehow managed this particular small one. So please try to make a pause button and do drop down some doubts if you face any in the comment box, right? Look, here in the middle I have written Palampur. We are going to read what Palampur is, where actually what type of facilities do we get, what economic and non-economic activities do take place here in Palampur. We are going to read that. So Palampur is the main concern. Our first topic of discussion will be the activities or the economic activities that is helping the Palampur to earn money. The economic activities that is helping the Palampur to earn money are here classified into four parts. The first economic activity that the people in Palampur used to do is number one, farming. Farming is a major economic activities of the people living in Palampur. The second economic activity is small scale manufacturing. It might be the small handicraft products, it might be a small scale industries located as a cottage scale industries in Palampur that actually helps the laborers or that actually helps the people in Palampur to earn their living, right? The third economic activities here is dairy farming. I guess you all know the dairy farming is that particular pastoralism is actually the farming that takes place with the help of the animal husbandry. The sheep, the bullocks and the cows are being reared by many of the pastoralists here in our entire village economy, and basically they do earn their living with this particular economic activity, right? The fourth economic activity is transportation. Transportation is a part of service sector that do not produce anything of their own. Rather, it helps to connect the primary, that is the agricultural activities, as well as the secondary, that is the industrial activity into a small chain. That you have already had an idea there in class 8. Now, After completing the economic activity, from here the question might be coming that what is the major economic activity there in Palampur? What will be the answer? Farming is the major economic activity that the people in Palampur do take place. And what are the economic activities that are undertaken by the people? What you will write? You will write these four. One is farming, another is small scale manufacturing, third one is that dairy farming as well as the transportation. The four economic activities are the activities that are undertaken by the people there in Palampur. Right? After that, we are going to deal with the resources required to maintain these economic activities. Basically, there are many resources that are required in our day-to-day economy to deal or to complete this economic activity. Suppose I am a worker, I am working in an institution. As I am a worker and working in an institution, I am giving my effort to earn my money. So the human effort is the first activity, the first resource that a country must have to make their country's people turn into some productive asset, or to help the people to earn their living. So human effort is the first and the foremost important resource required to undertake any economic activity. The second thing is money. If you want to produce any output and if you want to make the output produce in your company, you need to have what? Some money that should be invested in your company. So money is the next resource that is very much helpful for any economic activity. The third and the foremost thing is natural resource. Each country and each economy are gifted with natural resource, but they are unevenly distributed throughout the world. Each economy's geographical conditions are not the same. They are neither even been distributed equally with all economic resources. The economic resource that even our state do have, the same economic resource the other simultaneous corresponding state might not have. So economic resources even vary from one geographical area to another geographical area. But we are all given with some free gifts of nature, right? After completing the economic activity as well as the resources that are required for completing the activity, we are going on dragging our story to the core part of Palampur, right? Now look, we will read first two things. That Palampur is a particular village which is well connected with some big villages as well as with some towns. The village as well as the town that is very nearer to Palampur are two. Number one, it is well connected with a road system, and that is with the village Raiganj. Raiganj, R-A-I-G-A-N-J. Raiganj is a big village that is located 3 kilometers apart from Palampur. So I have written here, I have made a particular small lane, a small road, and that is 3 kilometers distance. And with this 3 kilometers, people there in Palampur go there where? In a big village that is Raiganj. Palampur is even connected with a small town which is bit nearer to Palampur, even not 3 kilometers. That's what? Shahpur. S-H-A-H-P-U-R. Shahpur is not a village, rather a small town that is connected with this particular village, Palampur. Right? Now, Palampur is a village which is well connected. That means having a good transportation facility with a big village that is Raiganj and a small town that is Shahpur. Now, we have to learn what type of transportation facilities do the Palampur village have? Yes. So our next topic of discussion will be the transportations that are available that are helping the people of Palampur to go to the nearby villages and small towns. The transportation that are helping the people there are, number one, bullock carts. So bullock ridden carts are known as the bullock carts, that is often found to be seen there in Palampur. The second one is tongas. Tongas are the wooden cars that are being held by the horse to ride that, right? So tongas are very famous. Even if you go to Berhampur also there, Berhampur there in Murshidabad, there also you may even find nowadays also tongas are available. If you want to visit Hajadori and all, you need to get that particular tongas. So tongas are the horse-ridden car. Horse-ridden wooden carts are known as tongas. Even they had bogies. Bogies are the same, but they are basically ridden by the bullocks. So the bullock ridden carts are basically known as bogies. There in Palampur, bogies were used to carry enough amount of jaggery, which is also known as gur in Bengali, gur that we eat with the chapatis. That particular sugar cane is being extracted and that particular jaggeries are being made. Palampur is very famous for their jaggery. They used to produce huge amount of jaggery and they used to sell their surplus jaggery to the nearby small town that is Shahpur and even there in Raiganj. So before we come to the trade relation there with Palampur to the other, we will just read the third transportation, that is bogies. B-O-G-E-Y-S. So bogies are helpful there to carry the jaggery or the good from Palampur to the nearby cities or towns or villages, right? Next is the motor vehicles that are very famous in Palampur roads. There are 3 motor vehicles that you need to keep in your head. One is motorcycles are seen in the roads of Palampur. You may even find the jeeps there in Palampur. If you even find the trucks as well as the tractors there in Palampur. So tractors, trucks as well as jeeps are very famous in Palampur. After that, after completing the transportation facilities, after completing the the small towns and the big village that is connected with Palampur, we are next carrying forward our discussion on the families that are living there in Palampur. I guess it's much more visible to you that there are 450 families. How many? 450 families living in this small village Palampur. Out of these 450 families, the entire families are divided into 2 categories. One is the majority class, another is a minority class. I guess you all know the majority class refers to those upper class of people or upper caste or class or creed of people, those who comprises the majority in every society. There also, the 450 families were divided into 2 segments. One is 80 families were the upper caste families, while on the other hand 370 families were the lower caste families. So these 80 families and 370 families were the 2 segments of categorization of family. So if you are getting a question that how many families are there in Palampur, what would you answer? 450 families are there in Palampur. And what is the categorization of their livings? You will write that 450 families belong from several classes. They comprise of 2 categories. One is a upper class and other is a lower class. The upper class are the rich elite class of people, though in village they are much more elite and much more rich. They comprise of the majority, and on the other hand 370 families, that is 1/3 of the total families, one-third of the total 450 families comprises of the lower class people. Now if we come to the next classification out of these 2 families or the 2 categorization, we'll find the living standard of the people, right? So basically 80 number of families, those who are from the upper class, used to live where? They used to live in a large houses or the big houses, which are even been made with the cement plastering as well as with the bricks. So I guess all of your houses are basically made up of bricks as well as cement plastering. So they are basically what houses? Large big houses. These 80 families there in Palampur were having this type of living. On the other hand, these 370 families, those who comprise of the minority class, their living standard was something less or something low. They used to live in small huts, and those small huts are basically made up of straws as well as mud. So they actually live in the mud houses made up of straw. So mud and straw are helpful to make the small houses, where the bricks and cements are helpful for making the large houses there in Palampur. Basically, the 370 small low caste families are basically the scheduled caste families, which we often call as Dalits. Though nowadays we should never discriminate them. They are no more the minorities. Government is tremendously helping them. But these 370 families were the Dalit class that were found in Palampur. After topic of this particular discussion, we'll come across the electricity connection that we even find in very much poor in many of the village. But Palampur was not that village. Palampur was not that village where electricity connection was not there. Electricity was there in Palampur in most of the houses. And electricity was helpful to all the peoples in Palampur in many different ways. First of all, they were doing their farming, agricultural activities. So this electricity helped them to turn on the pumps, to turn on the motors so that they can do the tube well irrigations. Number 2, this electricity helped them to turn on the small scale industries, right? To turn on the machines in the small scale industries. Electricity even helped them for their own day-to-day household works. So electricity helped them domestically also to live a good living standards. Electricity was having many role there in Palampur. I guess I have written here, just look here, tubewell irrigation is helpful with the help of electricity. The next one is small businesses like the shopkeeping, the small scale manufacturing can be well done with the help of electricity connection. And even if you need to read something, even if you need to charge your mobile, that is the domestic household courses are often done with the help of electricity, right? After that, we'll come to two more discussion. One is the number of schools that is found there in Palampur to understand the literacy level, and the health condition that was there in the Palampur region to understand their health standards. So when we talk about the school, Palampur is basically having two categorization. One is the primary school, another is the high school. So primary school is for the kids, basically the students reading up to 6 to 14 years of age, or basically up to class 4 and 5. In many different places primary schools differ from one particular class to another class. So there are two primary schools there in Palampur. How many? Two primary schools there in Palampur. And there was only one particular high school there in Palampur. So people or the students there in Palampur for their higher studies need to come out from Palampur's village and to go to the nearby small towns or cities, right? What was the health standards there in Palampur? Health standard was divided again into two categories. One is a primary health standard that was given by the government, or primary hospitals that was being supported by the government agencies, and the other one was private hospitals or the private nursing homes, or this here what I have written as dispensaries. So there were one primary hospital that was being undertaken by the government providing free services to the people, and the next one was private dispensary or a private small shop of medicine was also there, which was helping the people or the sick people to make them disease free. So there was a well electricity connection in Palampur. We can even conclude there was good education system there in Palampur. People were not illiterate, they were getting a chance to go to schools. Even you will get the good health standards there in Palampur. At least they had some health facilities there itself in that particular village. It's well connected with many transportation facilities to a particular big village as well as a small town. One is Raiganj, another is Shahpur respectively. We also do have this particular natural resources that is there in Palampur, which is helping them to get many economic activities or many production activities. That's all for today's class. We are going to go with our next topic of discussion the next day. Hope to see you soon. If you like my video, please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Please do give a like or a thumbs up, and please don't forget to share it with your friends. Thank you. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.